AITA for not letting my sister move back in after she took advantage of my kindness. I have always been the responsible one in my family. My parents were young when they had me and my sister, Jenna, and growing up, I often played the role of caretaker. I helped with homework, made dinner, and even mediated fights between Jenna and our parents. As we grew older, this dynamic didn't change much. I was still the one picking up the pieces when things went wrong for Jenna. Jenna has always been, let's say, free-spirited. She's the type who'd quit a job on a whim or move across the country because she met someone on a dating app. While I admire her adventurousness, it's left her financially unstable. Meanwhile, I worked hard, went to college, and built a steady career in marketing. I recently bought a modest house, a milestone I'm incredibly proud of. Last year, Jenna's luck took a turn for the worse. She broke up with her boyfriend, lost her job, and was evicted from her apartment. She called me in tears, begging to move in temporarily while she got back on her feet. Despite some reservations, I agreed. Family is family, right? At first, things were okay. Jenna seemed grateful and even helped around the house. But within a few weeks, problems started. She stopped looking for a job and spent most days binge-watching TV or going out with friends. She'd come home late, often bringing people over without asking. My grocery bill doubled, and she never once offered to contribute. When I confronted her, she'd say, "I'm trying my best. You're so uptight." The final straw came when I found out she was using my credit card without permission. She'd memorized the numbers when I'd asked her to grab something online for me once. She'd racked up over $1,200 on things like clothes, takeout, and even a concert ticket. When I confronted her, she shrugged and said, "You make good money. What's the big deal?" I was livid. I told her she needed to leave immediately. She called me heartless and stormed out. That was 6 months ago. Jenna moved in with a friend, and we've had minimal contact since. My parents, however, are furious with me. They keep saying I should have been more patient and that Jenna's always been like this. My mom even suggested that I owe it to Jenna because I've always had it together, and she hasn't. I've tried explaining that it's not about the money. It's about trust. But they're not hearing me. Now Jenna's in trouble again. Her friend kicked her out, and she's couch surfing. My parents have offered to let her move in with them, but they're pressuring me to take her back, saying they're too old to deal with her. I've held firm, saying she burned that bridge, but the guilt is eating at me. So, Reddit, am I the a-hole for not letting my sister move back in? Should I give her another chance? Or am I right to set boundaries, even if it means she's struggling? Update. I didn't expect this post to blow up the way it did. Thank you for all the comments and advice. It's been eye-opening. A lot of you asked for updates, so here's what happened next. After posting, I decided to have a sit-down conversation with my parents. I explained everything Jenna had done while she lived with me, including the credit card theft. My dad seemed shocked, but my mom brushed it off, saying, "Well, she's family." That phrase has been their go-to defense for Jenna for years, and I realized it was part of the problem. By constantly enabling her, they've allowed her to avoid taking responsibility for her actions. I told them that if they truly believed Jenna needed help, they should step up and let her move in with them. My mom tried the "we're too old" excuse again, but I didn't budge. I reminded them that I'm not Jenna's parent, and it's not my job to fix her life. Jenna found out about our conversation and called me furious. She accused me of turning our parents against her and ruining her life. I stayed calm and told her I wasn't the one who'd stolen from family or taken advantage of their kindness. She hung up on me, and we haven't spoken since. My parents reluctantly agreed to let Jenna move in with them, but they've made it clear they're not happy about it. I've decided to go low contact for now. It's hard, but I'm focusing on my own well-being for a change. It's been a few months, and Jenna is still living with my parents. From what I hear, things aren't going great. She's had several blow-ups with them and hasn't made much progress in terms of finding a job or getting her life together. I feel bad for my parents, but I know I made the right decision. Setting boundaries was one of the hardest things I've ever done, but it's also been one of the most freeing. I've started therapy to work through the guilt and resentment I've carried for years. For the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm living my own life, not someone else's. So, am I the asshole? Maybe to Jenna and my parents I am, but to myself? I finally feel like I'm not.